Wow, wow, wow. Some huge quotes coming out from Ruben Amorim post the game against Leeds. We'll be going through all the quotes. He's effectively called out the hierarchy at Manchester United and effectively been saying that he will be leaving Manchester United at the end of his contract in 18 months. Now, again, he was asked kind of if his relationship with the hierarchy has changed at Manchester United, and there was some strong stuff said in the press conference. He said, I've noticed you receive selective information. I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not the coach. I know my name is not Conte, Mourinho, or Tuchel, but I'm the manager of Manchester United, not the coach. It's going to be like this for 18 months or until the board decides to change. I'm not going to quit. I'll do my job until another guy is coming here to replace me. I came here to be the manager, not the coach. He reiterated that quite a few times. Every department, sporting director, they need to do their job. I will do mine for 18 months and then we'll move on. So listen, this is very, very interesting for what Ruben Amorim has said. He reiterated that he's the manager, not the head coach. And he said every department needs to improve. Listen, it's definitely something happened in the last week at Manchester United, and apparently Ruben Amorim is clearly unhappy at being a head coach rather than a manager. He wants more power and essentially demanded to become the manager. He said, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to do my job until another guy is coming here to replace me. So listen, we know the relationship is damaged. That's been reported on Friday, and he was very frustrated after that game. Um, or leading up to the game against Leeds, he was adamantly very, very frustrated. And there is a lot of backlash and there is tension now between Wilcox, Baradas, and probably Amorim. And again, that relationship, which again has to be very interchangeable. You have to be able to communicate. They said they have meetings all the time. And then there are definitely some problems going on internally at Manchester United right now at the football club. And I think this is getting to the end of Amorim at Manchester United. I don't think he's kind of realised that he's not happy with Ineos's terms. Maybe he's not got a player that he wanted. Um, but wow, I'm very, very surprised by what Ruben Amorim has said. Yeah, listen, the Leeds game wasn't great. And yeah, I mean, it was very interesting to see what the bombshell. And the club were very clear about when Ruben Amorim come in that he would be the manager, he would be the head coach. Um, So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. He's definitely frustrated. There definitely is sort of tensions rising. What does that mean for Ruben Amorim? We'll have to wait and see what does happen. But it is definitely very fascinating to see how kind of it has switched. There has been literally 2 3 days. There has been a switch from Manchester United and the hierarchy at the club. I don't know whether that's something ongoing internally. He talked about the criticism, whether that's sort of him not being able to bring in players in January, not getting rid of the players that he wants. But there's something that has from the game against Newcastle with the game against Wolves to now, something's definitely happened internally at Manchester United. We don't know what it is. Maybe it'll come out. But Amorim is very, very frustrated. And he's talking about the hierarchy. And listen, he is getting frustrated in the press conference. I think that's due to also, one, the performances not going our way. And ultimately, Manchester United not being in the greatest position that we have been in a while. So, yeah, I mean, Ineos sort of appointed him as the head coach. I don't think there'd be any sort of disappointment in that. But again, internally, Amorim would be very, very frustrated by what's going on so far at Manchester United. There's definite backlash. There's definite frustration at the club. And again, I think he would be very, very frustrated. But the fact that he's not getting any players, and again, it's a concern when you do have any fallouts with the hierarchy. It does only mean one thing for the manager. I mean, you look at Chelsea, Maresca's gone. They're currently playing in against City with no manager at the moment. So yeah, listen, it is very frustrating. For Ruben Amorim, you don't want to see another manager gone because then you start the whole cycle again of a new manager, new recruitment, new formation, all of that stuff. But there is definitely be a fallout of the club. So that's the quote that Ruben Amorim has said. The journalist, he is getting really frustrated by the journalists in there. I think United have not been good enough. I mean, you look at the amount of points that we've dropped: 2 against Forest, 2 against Spurs, 3 against Everton, 2 against West Ham, 2 against Bournemouth, 3 against Villa, 2 against Wolves, 2 against Leeds. So we've dropped 18 points in our last 8 games, which again, Forest we should have won, Spurs we should have won, Everton um, we probably deserve to lose. But in terms of going forward, there's frustration, there's tensions. I don't know whether he'd be sacked or not. He talked about how United play more games. So is he potentially giving a message to Wilcox? He said in every department, the scouting department, the sporting director needs to do their job. I mean, could he potentially be having a dig at Wilcox? Because we know Wilcox likes to get involved in sort of the manager conversations and discussing sort of things with the manager or the head coach, whatever you want to say. And apparently, there has been sort of reports and an urgency from Manchester United to get Wilcox to tell Amorim to change the formation, and Vivell getting involved. And I think the hierarchy probably is getting too involved. I think when you're telling your manager to change the formation, and again, it goes back to what's been happening at Chelsea, there is obviously going to be crossovers there. But yeah, listen, there's definite tension, there's backlash. We see what commences. I think this is kind of come off the basis of one, United performance is not being great, and two, Amorim being told that he's not going to be getting any players in January, because I don't see there's any reason why United he would say that. I think he should have known his job, but I think it's just growing frustrations in terms of formations and all this stuff. There's growing frustrations internally at United with the results. So yeah, I mean, there's more backlash. It's never a dull day at Manchester United. There's no transfer, obviously, daily today. It's obviously game day, but we'll be back with the transfer daily tomorrow. Going through all the latest Manchester United news. But United 1-1 draw at Leeds. Amorim has come out with some amazing quotes, and he talked about the hierarchy in the club and him being very, very frustrated by what's going on. So we'll have to wait and see what does happen. But again, it's just not a good look for Manchester United. Tensions are growing. Amorim's basically called out the hierarchy, and he said in 18 months he's going to move on. Now he's been at the club for around but he's been at the club for around 15, 16 months already. No, 14 months he's been at the club. So he's got a few months left at the club. We will have to wait and see what does happen. With Ruben Amorim, does he leave, does he not? I mean, I think this is the beginning of the end, because when he said stuff about the hierarchy, but we'll have to wait and see. I just don't think he likes the control at the moment. Let me know your thoughts.